What's going on, guys? How y'all doing? You are watching the Dynasty GM, man. And what this channel is about is just breaking down um how to trade in order to build contending dynasty teams, right? Now I'm not an absolute mastermind myself, but I am a sicko in trading. Like, I'm an absolute sicko. And I'm just gonna give y'all my tips, and you guys can apply it whatever you however you seem fit. So one of the first things I want to say, you have to identify where you are and what current state your dynasty team is currently in, right? So what do I mean by that? Let's say, for example, let's pull up one of my teams, right? Let's let's look at this team. This team in this league, if you're not first, you're last. Let's go back to previous seasons. I believe I joined it in 2023. Okay. Um, and let's see the team that we got. This is the team that I picked up: Jimmy Garoppolo, Zamir White in a single quarterback league, Duke Johnson, DJ Shark, Rondell Moore, Knox. I mean, absolute garbage of a team, right? But we did have an early draft pick. Let's go to draft results, and you will see right here we got JSN, right? And I didn't even draft this. This is what just came to me. This is part of the orphan, right? And I'm like, bro, what can we do? How can we get this team to actually be competitive, right? So let's look at some of the trades that we made. If you guys have a team like this, you know what I'm saying, absolute bull crap of a team, and what could you guys do in order to make it competitive? Now you guys see CeeDee Lamb on here. It wasn't CeeDee Lamb was not on my squad initially. You know what I'm saying? So let's go and let's see the trades that we've made, right? Let's see the trades that we've made in order to get CeeDee Lamb, or let's go completed trades, right? And let's see what we did. Okay. First thing I did, I traded a second in 2024 for Kenny Pickett. Should not have done that. That was like my first season with the actual team. This is like my first year playing Dynasty around that time. And I was like, yo, I need a quarterback. And then we went and we started then I said, okay, now we need to go and we need to make some moves. And we traded Javonte Williams off of some hype. I believe that was his first year before the injury, right? 2023, if I'm not mistaken, before the ACL injury. And we traded him for DeAndre Hopkins, 24 second, and a 2025 first, which ended up being the 109, right? And so then once you get in that mode of making a trade for a draft pick specifically, you want some more draft picks. So then I was like, you know what? I was like, yo, this guy Kendra Miller, this is the year Alvin Kamara is going to fall. And I traded Brees Hall, right, for a 2024 first and a 2025 108 first, which ended up being the 108. Now, so I basically traded Brees for 2 firsts and a flyer and Kendra Miller. At the time, I was like, I thought it could be a good trade. I think I think Brees just had his injury, and so he was still kind of hurt. My timeline could be wrong. This is a couple years back, but yeah. So then we all ended up also trading Jerry Jeudy for a first and Tank Dell, who was a rookie at that time, brand new. No one really knew about him, and a third, right? And you just gotta do your research though, right? With this, let's go ahead and let's see what else we did. After that. Hold up. Let me try to zoom in a little bit. Is that better? Yeah. Okay. So then we also had Jalen Waddle. And so what did I ended up doing? I ended up getting a haul for this. DeAndre and Jalen Waddle for 2 firsts, 2025 second, and a 2025 third. And we also traded away a 2026 third. And then we made another trade. We traded Jaden Reed, Singletary, and a 2024 second, and we got the 105, 2025 105. And this is a key factor, and this is the next thing I want to tell you. This is how we got CeeDee Lamb. When you acquire these draft picks, right? In my like mindset, this is what I do, right? In order to build a team that is full of elite talent, you take those draft picks, right? Because those draft picks are flyers. Essentially, they could pan out and they could be a Jaden Daniels, Malik Neighbors, right? Or they could be end up being Anthony Richardson and Bryce Young, who, you know, Bryce Young still a lot of potential, but Anthony Richardson, you see what's going on right now. And right now you can barely get a third or a second for Anthony Richardson, right? So you take those draft picks before you even pick, right? And you go and you get your elite players. You go and handpick the exact player that you want. And that's exactly what I did here. I traded 224 first and we went and we got CeeDee Lamb. Now, maybe I didn't need to do that at this time, right? But I was like, I already had a couple. I ended up trading a 24 second for Judy, but regardless, what do you call it? I made this trade thinking, yo, I want my elite player. He's still young, still 25, 24, and we can build a solid core with CeeDee and Judy. Now let's look at all the draft picks that we've acquired here. With this garbage fire of a team, we have a 24 first, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 25 first. Okay, 6 25 first at the end of the 2023 year. So, something else I'll tell you, it is the easiest to get draft picks 2 years out in advance, right? And right now, the 2027 class is elite right now, and that's what all hype is heading towards. But if you play in more casual, like with your friends leagues or just leagues that really are not looking 2 years out in advance, go and get those 2027 picks, man. They're 2 years out. It's easy. You can be like, yo, I'll throw you let's say Judy in a second, and let me get a 27 first. Or something like that. You give a young player, right, that you don't think is going to be elite, but he's young, he can produce, and you give a second, right? You can go get that first. That's just a strategy that you can do. So yeah, so now our team is looking like trash fire, booty butt water, and we got JSN, CD, and Judy. Okay, so that was that 23 year. All right, now let's go to the 24 year, man. This is where it starts to get fun because the 24 draft came by and we ended up drafting Marvin Harrison with the first pick in this draft. And obviously, looking back, you kind of wish you drafted Neighbors, but Marvin Harrison's still a great pick. And so and that's the thing, like if your team is either butt water, right, or in middle of the pack, sometimes it's best to kind of just tear it down, so now we got sorry, let's go to that 24 year. So now we drafted Marvin Harrison, and let's go ahead and see the trades that we made this year. Hold on. Trade history complete. We made 2 trades, right? We received Daniel Jones. I was like, okay, a good running quarterback. And we also received Dontavian Wicks in a 26 second. Obviously, Dontavian Wicks hasn't panned out, but I was thinking young wide receiver, and we got the pick on top of that. And so now you kind of see something happening with our team, right? We got Sam Darnold, CeeDee Lamb, Jerry Jeudy, Tingdale, Marvin Harrison, JSN. Like it's kind of coming together. Go back out, come back in. So let's look at the completed trades that we made. Okay. So we ended up trading the 107 and 108, two of our 25 first, and we went and got the 102. Okay, a third and Jacob Cowing, sorry. And then we got an absolute steal of a trade. We traded the 104 and 201, and we went and got Puka Nacua. Now, I know this trade you can't usually do in a lot of leagues because Puka is still a young wide receiver, and maybe the owner didn't. I don't know. Maybe he just want. So this is the thing, when you have draft picks before you even draft. Once the draft starts to roll around, everyone wants to get draft picks. Everyone wants to just spend whatever they can to get a draft pick. And as you've seen, we got CD and we got Puka, right? And that's the 104 and the 201. And then we also ended up getting our quarterback as well. We traded a third and a fourth, and we got a 2-1 and a 27 third. Nothing crazy. And this trade right here, I mean, let me know how y'all feel about this. I was kind of going back and forth. And remember, we originally started with Breece Hall, but we ended up trading the 110 and 112. So 2 late firsts and a third for Coker, Breece Hall, and Justin Fields. Now, Breece Hall, I paid up. I paid up for Breece. I ain't gonna lie. And I know right now he's undervalued, but I paid up. And this is my thinking, right? I'm like, yo, I can go and get Colston Loveland or Tyler Warren, and I can go get R.J. Harvey, something like that, or Luther Burden or Matthew Golden with one of these picks, or I can go and get Breece Hall, and that's what I did. And let's look at the draft, because we ended up with Travis Hunter and Ashton Genty. We got Harold Fanning in the third, Jadon Blue in the second, Alec Aomanor in the third. You know what I'm saying? So, a nice little draft, and let's look at how the team turned out, man. Because this team right now can compete for a championship, in my opinion. We got Justin Fields, Ashton Genty, Breece Hall, CeeDee Lamb, Puka, Komet. We got to work on that. JSN, Travis Hunter, and Marvin Harrison. Travis Hunter, JSN, and Marvin Harrison, 3 flex. CeeDee Lamb is our oldest player, possibly. Him and Komet. You know what I'm saying? And this team in 2 years literally went from nothing, a team that you basically orphaned, right, to a team that can compete. And we got some 2 seconds next year. We got a first, and we're ready. We can compete for years on. Maybe we won't win the chip this year, but if Travis Hunter ends up being the next JJ, Marvin ends up being lives up to his potential, JSN lives up to his potential, Puka, CeeDee, all these guys, and that's something that y'all can do. And when I took the orphan, everyone was like, I understood why it was an orphan, but that's just something that you could do. But you have to go all in. But the main thing here is just, you don't have to win every trade. Of course, it's nice if you do, but if you don't, it's okay. As long as you keep building towards the future and understanding that you don't be content with the middle, right? Try to keep getting better. A side note, it's very important as well to attack the free agency and the waiver wire while you're doing this, because that's where you can get gold. That's where you can get guys like Puka. That's where you can get absolute steals, right, during the season, and transforming them into draft picks for later in the future, which you can transform those draft picks into elite assets that you hand select. So that's it for the Dynasty GM, man. That's it for me. My name is Ramsey. Thank you if you watched this whole video. That's awesome. If you did not, no worries. Please let me know what y'all think in the comments below. This is just how my head works, man. I go sicko mode, so hopefully y'all some sickos as well. All right, take care. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.